besides me?
I'm down 5, so I'm at 6.
Alright, so I'm gonna use Good Berry, because I don't have to use a spell slot to do it. And each berry will heal for 4 HP, because I'm a life cleric. And there's 10 berries.
I think I need like 2 then. Like
So
1.5, honestly.
I'm gonna eat 2 of them. You can have 2 of them.
Alright, then
It's
that
8
makes...
HP for both of us, and then there's 6 left. So everybody can have 1, and I'll take 2.
I don't think.
Yeah, I don't need it.
I know, just hold it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
I take one
it's
of your
basically
weird berries.
It's a potion that lasts for 24 hours that heals you for 4 HP.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's also an entire day's meal.
It's also an entire day's meal.
It doesn't taste very good though.
No, they're very bitter.
What if you put precipitation on it and say make it taste very good?
I thought they were supposed to taste good inherently.
No, they don't taste like much. It's like mana. Mana doesn't taste very good, but it feeds you. It's like a starving man's meal.
It's like it's like that one Stoker's meal you left in your freezer for 6 years. You're like, damn, I gotta eat something.
I mean, technically, it's up to whoever's making the flavor for it. But I'm saying in my world,
True.
it's like manna from heaven. It's not supposed to taste good, but it's supposed to nourish you on both a spiritual and physical level. In this case, spiritual being your health.
Rorik's gonna go next to the orc and stop scrounging around what he has. If he had anything.
Sure. Hold on one sec. Oh shoot! Sorry, I'm looking at the stream thing, which is only player side, which means I can't look at anything. Hold on. The orc, he is wearing a crisp and somewhat broken set of hide armor. He's got a great axe still clutched in his death grip. He's got 5 javelins, and that's about it.
Okay, I pick all that shit up.
So you're stripping the
Drag
orc
it.
naked?
Yep.
Okay.
But the hide armor was broken, right?
Well, yeah, it's like... It's got, I don't know how to put this into a fantasy setting. It's like if you shoved it into a wet set of armor into a freezer. It's like cracked up a bit. You would probably want a leather worker to take a look at it.
You probably broke the leather treatment and you need to retreat it.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll have a tanner one day. Maybe.
We might have one in town.
Well,
Right,
I take his stuff.
Not unless one of y'all are. Unless one of y'all took the merchant background.
Oh man, I can't wait to steal some paladin armor. I mean,
Also, I cut off his head with his own axe.
Sure, that happens.
And then I'd go and find a branch, stuck it into.
Like make a warning on the outside of the wall?
Yeah.
Alright.
Basically.
You Game of Thrones it up.
I mean, that makes us kind of look like assholes or people or intimidating butt nuggets. But
I want to go check on the guy on top of the cart.
Okay.
he's dead.
No, he's bleeding very badly, but I mean, if no, yeah, he's bleeding. He's not in a spare the dying state. He's got like, if I was to put a number to this, I'd say he has 1 out of 4 hit points left. He's not dead, but he's like, if this was a bleed effect, he'd be dying.
I'm gonna
He's
give
just
him one
not-
of the berries.
Yeah, he's just not in a strong case right now to pilot a wagon, as it were.
I can either give him hit points directly from my lay on hands, or you could good bury the fucker.
I do have some potions.
No, it's okay. I'm just gonna feed him a berry.
What you're a life cleric, right?
Yep.
So what's the bonus?
It's
1 plus
2 plus the spell level.
So 3 hit points for eating your good berry.
4 because it already heals a hit point.
It's 1 plus 1 plus 2.
Nice.
Which is really effective, honestly. 40 hit
And
points. Okay.
I can cast it without using a spell slot once every 24 hours.
Wouldn't that technically make it a... Oh, no, you just cast it at that level without spell slotting it.
Actually, it might be once every long rest.
40 hit points is busted, but I guess that's what a life cleric's for, isn't it?
Yeah, normally it's 10.
I like how the life cleric, the healer, the dedicated healer ran out into the field, got knocked out, and then the tank had to pick him up. It's like the exact opposite of every situation.
Yeah, it's once every long rest I can cast it without using a spell slot.
Alright. So yeah, you feed him this this good berry, and like before your eyes, since he has so few hit points anyway, his wounds just seem to knit themselves completely, and he looks at you startled, but at the same time super appreciative. It's like, thanks! Thank you! They've been chasing me for a while now. I thought I had escaped them, but somehow they got ahead of me. Cut me right off right before I was gonna get to your walls for safety.
Not to worry, friend. Sir Arthur is here to defend you now. Come, let us make camp inside of the walls.
Yes, yes. God, I need to rest. I've been running for so long.
Let's go back to town.
Woo.
No, I want to go over here and check these goblins.
Yes.
Well, first let me get the goblin thing out of the way. Says that's bookkeeping, and bookkeeping comes first. And then we'll get to you real quick, Woo. The goblins, they each have a shield on them. Each of them is wrapped in basic leather armor. Each one has a scimitar at its belt that was never pulled out. They each died with a short bow in their hands, and each of them has a quiver on their back with at least 5 arrows.
I'll take the scimitar and the arrows.
So there's going to be about 12 arrows in total if you collect them all, because 3 of them were fired. Alright, now back to you, Woo. As you're standing around the bushes, you notice that this owl comes flying out from the woods and lands on a branch nearby.
That owl is...
Well, let's see how I approach it, see how it reacts.
The owl regards you, and it like does that thing, you know how owls do, where they tilt their head almost like a complete 90 degrees, where it would like kill a person if they tried to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And for a moment, it seems to like look past you towards Sir Arthur's direction, and then it regards you again. It's hard to tell if it's just doing that because it's following movement, or if it's like looking at stuff specifically.
Regardless, I'm going to look in the direction the owl looked.
Yeah, I mean, you see Sir Arthur feeding the wagon master a good berry, and the wagon master almost like dropping to his knees in appreciation to Sir Arthur. I mean, all you see is what I've already described happening between Sir Arthur and the guy.
I'm going to walk in the direction that it's looking.
Alright. As you, I guess you mean you're walking towards Sir Arthur in the wagon?
Yeah, like around the bush.
Well, I mean, as you start walking away, Sir Arthur, you know, I guess, you tell me, Turvey, you crawl into the up onto the wagon and you ride with him back towards the gates?
Yeah.
Alright. As you're doing that, you hear what sounds, not you, Sir Arthur, sorry, Woo. You hear what sounds like a polite coughing noise coming from behind you. A voice says, "Excuse me, Could I have a word?
With a sandwich.
Okay, of course. I turn around and say as calmly as possible.
Yes, and you can clearly see that the owl is speaking. I wonder, would you consider gainful employment?
How many looks does it take to get to the true zero center of a Tootsie Pop?
The world may never know.
God, fuck. Now get butt naked so it's accurate.
Well, I do not really seek, monetary things, but I am always interested on employment with the right ideals. Terrible person to ask this.
Well, if it's not monetary profits you seek, then all the better. You see, I could offer you the loan of some magical items for the cost of combat with some monsters. You see, there would be a flat fee paid and a percentage of the monetary profits recovered. Although, if you do not need such things,
You blacked out there for about 2.5 seconds.
I don't know.
If you don't need those things.
I didn't black out. I just stopped talking.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it's a weird context to the talking, but that's where he stops.
okay. Well, it was nice then.
I don't know if I'm allowed to.
I mean, I imagine you stand there waiting for him to finish his sentence, and he doesn't talk anymore.
Who's nearby? Like, anyone near me within like 30, 40 feet?
Actually, I was just about to do a divine sense to see if anybody was lingering in the middle of this field.
Sir Arthur seems to be right behind you.
Well, no, Sir Arthur's technically on the
He
wagon.
called me back over here.
Right.
I saw him.
Yeah, Sir Arthur's technically over here with the guy on the wagon.
Yes, there's this guy.
Who's that? Who's that? Is that the cleric?
That's Vance.
Yeah, that's me. I was just about to divine sense.
That's all the better. You just see me staring up at something, and I just wave my hand and just kind of like, come here.
Do you mind if I finish my divine sense real quick? It's like one action.
Yeah, you can do that and just walk on.
So, I don't know if I'd smell any evil or anything like that.
Celestial, fiend, or undead.
Just in case if anything's weird nearby.
Just double check. No, I need to just check if something is a celestial, fiend, or undead. That's all. No. You do not detect anything celestial, fiend, or undead. What else does it tell you?
If any place or object has been consecrated, desecrated, as with the hollow spell.
No consecration or desecration. Not at least in your radius. Let's see. On the roleplay side of things, strong evil registers on your senses. You don't smell. Nothing seems evil to you, but let me just double check. Yeah, I mean, tell me what it seems like to you when good registers to your senses.
I don't know, it's just kind of like a harp playing in the... Large,
So-
like just
Good registers you on a auditory thing, then?
what this rings. It's a magical instance of drawn towards it.
So I'm just saying though, you're taking it as written that good, powerful
Yeah, I'm
good
gonna take
is an
it as-
auditory thing.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Alright. Well then the owl seems to chime like a heavenly choir then, I guess.
I mean, if y'all end up letting me negotiate a loan, we're gonna end up like doing this for free. So
I mean, I'm gonna follow where the owl is, so I'm obviously gonna go over here.
I just point up at the owl. I'll just point up at the owl.
I don't think I'm gonna pass this, but I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna see. It's like, do I know what that is? Is that something religious?
I mean, it looks like an owl to you.
Right.
I wanna walk up. Well, I'm heading back to town, aren't I?
Yeah, you're on the wagon, like piloting it for the guy who's still like showering you with praise for what you've done and how you've helped him and all that. So you're literally riding the wagon back into town or through the gates.
What sort of deity is this? As I walk up. Entity, I mean. What entity is this? It rings of the heavenly choir of a massive source of good.
Still an owl.
It seems like a good creature.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, to Vance it does, because Vance has a divine sense for these sorts of things. He
Well, I'm
can
here
take.
for his opinion. Does the owl repeat his offer, or I'll just repeat the offer?
Well, I mean, it cocks its head back and forth to both of you. I mean, because it was still talking to you, Wu, or at least it made its offer to you.
I am down to prove that my school's style is the best. But refusing things that'll help me in that is also just ridiculous.
It seems to have no ulterior intentions as far as I can tell. It's too good to do something like that, of course. I have been traded both.
So I personally am willing to accept such an offer. The magic item one. Because the money I don't care about. It'd be offered to refuse help.
We're not going to refuse help.
Well, the owl like extends its arms out like I don't know how to explain. Like a bird, it spreads its wings and like puffs out its chest and says, "If you follow me, I can take you to my friend, who will give you the full details. Otherwise, I must be going." And like its wings flap as though it's about to start taking off.
Huh? I'm gonna follow it.
Alright, we're following it. Wait, are we alerting anyone?
This is a very good point. Sir Arthur is probably guiding the cart back into town at this point.
Probably
everybody else is doing
That
something.
was the last thing he was doing.
I mean, Sir
We're not
Arthur
that
has a passive perception of 14. I mean, he could be riding the cart in, and he can see out of the corner of his eye that two of you just like gone off into a bush and are talking to it, or to each other.
I just see two of them walking off into a bush and
I
talking.
mean, we're within like 50, 60 feet of each other.
I mean, maybe shout back, and I'll just let this guy go in himself. But
I could just yell back to them, follow, and I'm just gonna, I don't know. And they can do what they want.
Okay, I move up here with them when he shouts follow.
Yeah, I'll go help.
Actually, I'll move right here.
Praise the sun, motherfucker.
I need to be up front.
Let's go follow the owl.
I just
don't
want to
have any
let's
spells
not
left.
split the parties. What my goal is.
Don't forget, I have no spells.
We must find the juicy center of the Tootsie Pie.
If they ask what, I'm just telling them it's a good omen.
Okay. Can I like religion check and see if an owl is actually a good omen?
I mean, you make whatever checks you want. I'll respond to them in kind.
Dun, 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 dun.
Isidore will make an Arcana just to know what it is for sure.
I want to roll an insight just because it feels a little fishy.
That's if it's magical nature.
Well, I mean,
Well, it could
first off, Sir Arthur, having never spoken to the owl, from its body language, it doesn't seem like it's uncouth. I mean, seems like an owl acting like an owl. Isidore, it
completely
seems
forgot
like
it's
a magically intelligent owl.
Yeah, this is probably a religious thing, so... Anyone want to pop a religion check?
Seems like an owl.
Well, do you think he's like an omen for the village here?
I also
guess that
come
makes a
to-
certain
That's what I'm
sense.
taking it as. I'm taking it as religious intent.
Would you say he merely asked for a favor?
I can kind of explain as we go. Unless is anyone slow here?
Well, I want to drop off the stuff I took from the orc because they're heavy.
I don't think we're gonna need a whole party to go to this one thing. Probably just a meetup.
Well, I think it'd probably still be wise to clear the area around the town in case more of those goblins are around. Perhaps this owl is
That's my
leading us
religion
to
check right there.
Oh my god, I can't believe you rolled that.
Doesn't appear to be tied to any religious significance that you can think of.
Isidore looks up at the owl and goes, "Owl! Are your problems goblin-based?"
Then you get punched in the face by
It looks at you, and again, it does another one of those 90-degree head tilt things. Before its feet lift up from the branch and its wings carry it up into the air. And it flies towards the north, but it's not flying so fast that you can't keep up with it. It's like, it's going slower than an owl normally would.
I think he got impatient.
the paladin walks over to... What's your character's name again?
Isidore?
Isidore. Puts his hand on his face and says, "Shh." But his hand's quite big, so it covers your whole face.
I mean, my question at this point is, are you following?
Yes.
Yes.
If I heard the story that it's giving magical items for a favor, I'm running after the owl. At that word.
Yeah, we're
Magical
going into
items.
the...
Okay.
Who's actually here? Who's here for the actual conversation with the owl?
Me. Woo.
So okay, so it was
Not me. I'm just following the group.
Wait, I don't even think it was here for magical items. I think I just saw the owl, and then you told me something about it, and then I just followed it.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're walking along, go ahead and have a conversation about it if you want to,
I can discuss the entire matter.
Don't piss off the owl. It's probably some sort of angel in disguise. Something, I don't know. And then that's all that man says, and then it just continues. I'm surprised the two religious people couldn't get it. Actually, technically, monks are also kind of religious, so I'm surprised the three religious people couldn't get it.
Well, religion is an int check now, so
Yeah, that sucks.
that makes sense.
Well, 3.5 religion was also just a knowledge check, so...
It is memory based after all.
Alright, well, I guess you're just gonna tell them what you talked to the bird about.
Yes.
Alright, well, the bird leads you along for quite a while. I mean, like, the sun starts setting behind you and the moon starts to raise, so you're like in this twilight, in the middle of the woods. Until the owl finally lands on a branch and gestures with one of its wings to a shadowy clearing. Looking there, you see a giant humanoid figure stepping forward into the raising moonlight, and I'm going to assume here that it's unlike any other giant you've seen before, because it's 12 feet tall, bald, and wearing an expensive, well-tailored set of robes, and its skin is entirely blue.
Oh dear.
He looks in your direction, and he says, in this well-cultured and deep voice, "I am Serene. If you step this way, we can conduct our interview in more comfortable surroundings." And as he says this, you can hear the click of a bolt being withdrawn, and a rectangle of light shines from an open doorway that now becomes visible to you. From beyond this, you can see that there are 4 large spotted cats, with each with jewel-encrusted collars, eyeing you from the doorway's threshold. But they move aside as Serene himself steps into the doorway. He turns and looks back at you once again and says, "Come, I have business I would discuss with you."
Yes, sir, Serene.
No hesitation. Just walks right in.
I'm pretty much the same way, yeah.
Isidore probably stares a little bit too long at those collars on his way in, wondering just how
Let's go.
many jewels are in them.
The cat vomits up some hairballs.
Well, I mean, as you
The
guys
hairball has some jewels in it.
enter, you notice that what you walk into appears to be a wagon of such immense size as to accommodate Serene's 12-foot girth, as to be the size of any building that you would see in your own village. But it's such a massively elaborate wagon. Like, as you're walking in and the things become more visible in the clearing, you can see that the front of the wagon has a team of 12 horses dedicated to pull it. It's so massive.
What can it run crosses?
Ooh.
But as you step into the light of the doorway, the cats you now recognize to be cheetahs growl at you aggressively, but they remain at bay, as though they're trained to not just leap out and attack anybody that Serene doesn't gesture to.
It would have been so nice to have Olivia here.
Hold on, is
That's who I should have picked.
Davram? I mean, Rare?
Yeah,
Was Davram? What did Davram turn into again?
a cheetah, basically.
Good owl, possibly religious situation. Cheetahs. We had a cleric previously.
Anyways, he gestures to a long table that dominates the rear part of the wagon. Says, "Please sit."
Can I do an investigation check?
On what?
Just to check the area out, just to see what.
I mean, are you gonna disrespect him so much by tossing his wagon right in front of him?
No.
Investigation is actively searching. I mean, if you want to
no.
passively look at stuff, that's perception.
Okay.
I say you would be literally tossing his wagon in front of him.
No, I'll just do a perception check.
And what are you hoping to find?
Just anything out of the ordinary, anything that could injure us, or
I think everything, literally everything you see in here is out of the ordinary. Like, he seems to be a collector of strange goods, so everything around you seems odd and out of place. Also, again, the wagon is the size of a building almost, so everything is oddly out of proportion, at least to you, a normal-sized being. Because, again, he is a giant. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for things out of the ordinary, literally everything seems out of the ordinary. You seem like a child in an adult's house, and this adult is a weird guy.
Is anybody just hoping that he turns around and then opens his jacket coat and says, "Welcome, stranger"?
That'd be a little creepy.
Oh man.
I'm gonna sit down
Isidore
at
is
the table.
definitely taking a seat here.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down too.
He's sitting politely, hands in front of him and everything. Kind of looks up and goes, "Well, I don't suppose you're actually the type to have a problem with goblins. I was really anticipating that."
What the fuck is with you and goblins?
Well, there were just some few hours ago. I thought there were more. I thought this might have been related.
I'm just
Not
gonna do.
unreasonable.
I'm gonna repeat an action. Hand on face.
Mm, mm.
No, not goblins per se. The problem I seem to encounter is one of size. You see, I am hiring guards and dungeoneers. There is a place I must reach, which is unfortunately unaccommodating to one of my stature, and I require people willing to plunge its depths in order to retrieve a certain item very important to me. It is a dungeon and a tomb, they say, said to be rich in treasure, but guarded by several monsters. It is about a week's travel from here that I intend to make as soon as I have acquired people of sufficient skill. Tell me, does any of this interest you?
Sounds incredibly hazardous.
It sounds like a grand quest, but are we of this people of skill? Are we of the skill you require?
Hold on one sec. How many of them are you again? How many of them are you? How many are you? 1, 2, 3, 4,
6.
5, 6.
I am 20. We are Legion.
Yes, it is quite difficult. I mean, it would seem quite dangerous, and as I say, I would be willing to undergo this with my guards and myself alone, but I cannot enter due to my great size and must hire others to do so for me. Knowing this, I would be willing to offer you 1,000 gold pieces per person,
Isidore's eyes go incredibly wide.
as well as a 20% share of any monetary treasure recovered.
Your eyes go wide, hand on face.
I would also be willing to lend anybody making this endeavor a magical item from my cache to be returned to me upon the completion of any contract we would enter into.
Would you say these items would offset the immense danger, or would this only supplement somewhat?
Wait, what are you paying us? Oh,
Need
wait,
to
hold on.
train for
I'm
this.
sorry, I'm playing Arthur. What is the reward for this quest, good Sir Blue?
Well, he already told you that.
Arthur
1,000, 20% of what we find, and
1,000 each.
gold.
1,000 per person, plus 20% of whatever you find in there.
So, Christ.
20% of the, he said, monetary treasure recovered. So you can figure out what that means on your own, or wait until the end of the adventure and figure that out.
I'm down.
Sounds good.
What about
Oh man.
I have to find a way to phrase this right. To whom do the artifacts and things go?
There is only one item in this tomb that I am concerned with, though should you discover anything worthwhile, I might consider offering to buy them from you. Otherwise, they do not fall under the purview of the offer that I have made you, and thus could be considered yours for the taking. All I require is the item that I seek, and
could you
the
tell us about that?
items that I seek to loan you.
What is the item you are seeking?
you see, my stock in trade is that of magical items, and I have recently come into possession of a scroll made by another of my kind. This scroll hints at the existence of a cube of force, with which I've already lined up a willing customer, and thus I require its actual existence. This cube of force is evidently hidden somewhere within the tomb.
Do you know what it does? Does it activate on its own? Is it dangerous to pick up?
Hand on face.
Is someone using it already?
No.
I'm afraid details such as these cannot be discussed unless you agree to the terms of our contract.
Okay. So
Do we have any disagreements?
out of character group conversation. Honestly, this is a good situation in which we could take advantage of, but we might get fucked by the level. It might be really, really hard. Who's up to it?
I mean, I'm down, but we need to read the contract first.
Down the climb.
Well, he's basically given it to us so far.
If it's
Dangerous
power,
dungeon.
I'm up for it.
It's not
Item inside. Get it back.
out of character. It's not a written contract. It's literally everything he's told you so far.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Verbal contract.
There is just one thing. I mean, it's a verbal contract with some sort of massive entity, so it's probably a pretty serious contract, even if it's just word to word. Second, is the gold up front or after? Because we could use preparation gold.
After.
Okay.
I need to remain wary of attracting claim jumpers, or others who might race to find the item once they know of its existence.
Got him.
I wanna say a little prayer.
Say a
just
little
because
prayer for you.
I wanna, say thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Lord on high, Supreme Lord Thunderpants in the sky.
I can fly twice as high.
And then I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna go, okay. Bequeath unto me this magical item, and we shall go.
Okay. Shit, I've closed all my windows.
What does he hand you? But not a portable hole.
Alright. So, who we have? Psycho is playing Rurik, right?
Yeah.
Rurik is a sorcerer. Shit. See, the problem is I had all these windows set up and I closed them all to make sure that my computer would not die. Give me 1 second to bring back the note. Yes, the Wart Mage. Goddamn typos. Alright, Rurik. He waves his hand in the air in front of you all, and this chest appears like from the ether. And he lays his hand over the lock of the chest, and it flips open, and kind of like in a video game style, there's like a glow coming from within it. And he brings out this wand and extends it towards you, Rurik.
I take it. Snatch it.
This is a wand of a war mage.
I taste what it tastes like.
It tastes wooden.
Mm,
Does
It tastes
do?
like your own dick.
Ooh.
There, it's in chat for you.
Nice.
Nice.
Just put it.
Alright, Griffin is playing Isidore, which I opened up in your own window somehow.
Aha.
Actually, he hands you basically the same thing. Isidore.
Oh, how nice.
I tried to taste that one as well. If
It
tastes any
tastes
different.
like Isidore's dick. I don't know how you recognize it. That's a thing to be covered later.
Wow.
Woo.
this,
He reaches into this chest, and kind of like a bad magician's trick, he pulls out a quarterstaff that's way too big to have fit in the chest. And he hands you this quarterstaff +1.
When is he gonna shout out Mary Poppins, y'all?
When he flies away with an umbrella.
Perfect.
Alright. And it's basically the same routine for all of you. Specific items like Vance, he hands you this golden and silver engraved longsword +1.
aw, I wanted a shield.
Yeah, Water Shield 2.
Well, that's too bad. That's not the offer he made.
What does he give me?
Maros, he hands you this it's a very dark brown wood. It looks like it's been coated in some sort of high gloss material, but it's essentially a longbow +1.
Okay.